will keep it short, so I think you have time, because yeah, yesterday I had finally the chance to watch some movies on the internet. Actually, it was not a movie, then an interview with the leader of the NGO. This is an organization for young writers. I'm also in the leadership, and now I'm so desperate and sad that I think I changed my whole speech. Actually, I was really, so I wrote a lot. I really wanted to talk about the things we pointed and also my issues, but I don't think it's really interesting what I'm doing. It's more interesting to talk about my country and what's going on there. So I'm coming from Hungary, and nowadays it's pretty hot there. So yeah, the politics is a very interesting topic in Hungary, and the problem is that everything is somehow poisoned by the politics. I don't know whether you know about the situation in Hungary. Okay, so my half flag is still there, so I try to work as much as it's possible, but as an author, as a person, and I don't think I really have too many choices than just visit my country sometimes. So what I was preparing for, it was actually about what the author is doing, what kind of roles the author has, and now it will be an experiment, what I'm doing now. I changed the whole thing and talk about the roles regarding what's going on in my country. So my NGO, my organization is called József Attila Circle. This is an organization for writers, and if you know Péter Eszterházy or Péter Nádas or Imre Kertész, our organization was the organization and the publishing house who published their first books. So it was a very important organization, I think, and why I'm talking in past sense, because we didn't get the financial support. So the system in Hungary works like that you have to, if you have an NGO, even if it's an NGO, or if you have a publishing company, it's all the time funded or supported by the government, because it's from the taxes. I don't know how it's working in your countries, but in Hungary this is the tradition. And whether it's a left-wing one or a right-wing one, it doesn't matter, because it goes directly from people's taxes to these organizations. And this year, all the four very old literary organizations didn't get almost any support by the government, but then there's a new academy which we don't have any documents of. There are no papers, no names. We just know that they mostly they get like 100,000 euros from the government to build up a literary school. And this week it was published who are the members of that these people don't have any books, they don't have really CVs and works to do. And it's legal. So I just want to follow your sentences about how to continue it, what's the market, what should we do now, because these organizations where I'm also working, we kind of produced the new authors, and these new authors could go to the biggest publishing houses like Magvető or Libri, like Péter Eszterházy and Péter Nádas and so on. But if these organizations will just stop, or there's no option to work there more, then it's a big question now how to have the new authors, who is going to be the new author, what kind of characteristics the new author will have, and how close it should be to politics. So this is the question now in my country, and we have some answers for that, we have some tries. So what we are doing now, we work with schools, it's still somehow legal. We work with kindergartens, we try to organize some programs for that, also with experimental literature and also with experimental art. So it's a kind of interactive program we are working on at the moment, and we still don't know how long we can do this. So this is what I wanted to tell you. And I also collected some social problems or issues in my country. I don't know whether I can talk about, if they're okay. Yeah, so the first problem in Hungary is probably if you are in Austria, you realize that if you go to the hospital, your doctor cannot speak German so properly because he or she is a Hungarian. The hospitals are broke. There is no financial support also in the hospitals like in the schools, and there is a lack of doctors and nurses because illness is now a kind of out. So these are the things that education and social problems and illness and equal rights, these are the things you cannot talk in my country about. What we work at the moment, we try to cooperate with illnesses, we try to cooperate even with cemeteries to organize programs, talk about the taboos like death or domestic violence, or talking about illness as a queer phenomena, to create literature and create art with this kind of social problems. It's a very weird way. I also know that, and I have no idea how we can. So what will be our goal, or how we can have new issues? But these are the ways we try out at the moment. So this is one thing. Another thing which I organized, and okay, this is my work, but there are other people involved. In Hungary, domestic violence does not exist. It is impossible to beat your children because the Hungarian families, which is a man, plus a woman, plus a child, and probably a pet, are saintly. There is no aggression happening there. According to a great exhibition critic, Bajusz Orsolya, and the organization Women for Women Against Aggression, childcare organization, etc., victims are mostly women and children. Each fifth woman is victimized by her husband or boyfriend, and in Hungary, one woman dies each week because of that. So it's interesting. This is the things I wanted to talk about, that this is something you can read in the newspapers, that things doesn't exist or don't exist, and there are the facts which you can really find out how to find them. So I wrote a book about that. It's called Party, and I also created a performance with children, but adults can be involved too, and this is about that. This is about the rules, this is about the roles, this is about the process of the aggression and the terror and the power taking. This is how the traditional roles are working in Hungary. And I was quite lucky because I worked before that as a teacher, so I had some open doors to some schools and kindergartens, and also some galleries and cemeteries to work with people in that. And after that, we had the possibility to talk about these issues, what's going on in the families. But there are not really any, or not too many, organizations who can publish their papers about these topics. And another thing, which is also close to this, the text and the gender, so the gender problematic. My land as the land of Santa Maria, and the women principles, which I also want to read you because I think it's really interesting. So the principles of women in Hungary, according to the speech of our Prime Minister from last year, is child production, to create a warm and welcoming atmosphere, and a home for the working man. The principles of the women is biologically determined, because it's also determined so it's a biologic determination of women. Women have wider hips to be able to give birth, and men have wider shoulders to be able to work. So these are the roles of a Hungarian woman. And I also made a text in Bratislava, actually, inspired by a sign of a trash bin. So I think it's not just a Hungarian issue what a woman should do. I think our brotherlands also have these problems, but there are probably people who can talk about it. So my work was about politics and language, and how these vocabs and how these modal verbs are coming up, like must, should, muss, soll, tidy, nice, friendly, warm, keep, house, family, produce, birth, whatever. And also the melody, the Hungarian folk song. I don't know whether you heard Hungarian folk song, but my issue was how this is working and how politics can poison the Hungarian folk songs and the folk music to create this fake, traditional, and aggressive and power-taking atmosphere. Yeah. So I don't want to talk about it more, and sorry for that. It was a bit like an experimental one, but I'm really pissed. And I wanted to have this possibility to talk about what's going on in Hungary. And I really would like to ask you some questions. Probably it's a kind of opposite roles. If you have any suggestions or ideas what to do or how to reach people, or as an author, how to work. I mean, we wrote some manifestos. There are very interesting organizations like Technologie und das Unheimliche, and we had parties, but this is also an underground thing. We don't have the publicity. All the newspapers are also in the hands of the current government, so yeah.